Iranians are celebrating today. Meanwhile, in Massachusetts,
boots on the ground, no bombs in the air.
No boots on the ground, no bombs in the air.
U.S. out of everywhere.
Man, Iranians all over the world are celebrating. You know, it's been a little over 24 hours since the airstrike started in Iran, and the people of Iran have been begging for this for over 4 decades. Look, I was born in Abadan, Iran. My family was displaced at the revolution. We didn't have a country for a season of our lives, and then the United States took us in. But look, we didn't just move here, we rebuilt here. I remember my father telling us, we don't just live in America, we will honor it, we'll assimilate within it, and we're going to become Americans. And we did. We went through the naturalization process, we built a life here, and this is our home. But I've never stopped loving my heritage. I've never stopped loving my homeland or where I'm from. For 47 years, the Iranian people have lived under a regime that has silenced them, imprisoned them, tortured them, executed them, and for decades, Iranians have begged the West to not look away. They protesting knowing it cost them everything. In the last 6 weeks, it cost 90,000 protesters just that, everything. So you might be wondering, why are people so excited? Why are people dancing in the streets? Why are people seemingly ignoring what the media is trying to force them to understand, that this was an unjustified attack by Israel or the United States? Watching what unfolded yesterday, it's not just a geopolitical strategy to Iranians. It's not a war over Iran. It was a rescue mission for the Iranian people, for the future of a proud people who have been occupied and impressed by an evil regime and ideology for 47 years. And I understand, for many people here in America and their political leanings, their distrust, anger, even hatred for a president or towards Israel can cloud how this is seen. But, you know, this isn't about politics for people. It's not about personalities. It's not about preferences. It's about safety and it's about freedom. The world is absolutely safer without the Islamic regime in power. It is one of the largest state sponsors of terrorism globally. And the brutality inflicted on its own people, the imprisonments, the killings, the silencing of women and young protesters, it's almost impossible to comprehend unless you've lived it or watched your people endure it. What I felt yesterday, it wasn't revenge. It was hope. Hope that the Iranian people might finally have a chance to live without fear. Hope that this country I love and where I'm from might one day be free. And as an Iranian American, that matters deeply to me.
Iranian Americans all across the United States are thanking the Trump administration tonight. For once, there is hope that the end of this regime is coming soon. The people of Iran have been under this terrible tyrannical regime since 1979. I support the president freeing the people of Iran. These strikes are the true embodiment of America First. Protecting the United States of America and her citizens from Iran's capability of nuclear weapons is America first. That's what so many Democrats cannot seem to wrap their mind around. The American people should come first. It is your duty to protect American citizens and our country first. And thank God President Trump tore up that terrible deal. We should never have to pay a country not to attack us. That's cowardice, and that is definitely not President Trump's way. And for all you folks that are having a hard time understanding, we are not at war. There is a stark difference between making strikes and going to war.
So in the Middle East, something extraordinary happened, and the internet is exploding with reactions. According to multiple reports, Ali Khamenei, the man who ruled Iran for more than 3 decades, was killed in a massive airstrike carried out by the United States and Israel. But what shocked many people around the world wasn't just the strike itself. It was the reaction, because while some people mourned him, others appeared to celebrate.
Mr. President, thank you so much. The best president of the United States by far in history. We love you, Mr. President. Trump, Trump! Trump, Trump! Trump, Trump! Thank you!
If you're not an Iranian and you're wondering why are all the Iranians celebrating right now inside and outside of Iran, I'm going to break down the logic using this analogy. Imagine your mom is dying and someone right there is offering to give CPR. Are you going to ask that person, hey, are you going to stop them and say, I just want to make sure you're a good person? Or what are your intentions? You are just so happy that someone is there to save your mom. And you're going to feel very grateful. It could be the most horrible person, but at the end of the day, they are offering to save your mom. Yes, we know your mom could probably go to a 5-star hospital. Right now, she's in need of CPR. Someone is right there ready to help. So when I hear the argument of, hey, the USA, Israel, they don't have good intentions, they don't really care about you guys, Iranians know this. But when you're desperate and you need to have someone save you, all you care about in that moment is to be saved. And in this case, the USA is taking out the murderous regime that has been murdering its own people of Iran. So when you see Iranians celebrating, it is not that we are pro-war. We just want to see a free Iran. We want to see the Iranian people free. And that is exactly what we see happening. And that is why we are celebrating.
I don't know what conspiracy channel or commentator some of you are watching right now, but every liberal, progressive Iranian American that I know who campaigned against Trump is celebrating these strikes right now. For years, I've watched politics divide people on issues like this. So let's just clear this one up. I was at the protests, every single one, and every Iranian there was begging for intervention. To be against what's happening right now is to be pro-rape, pro-torture, and pro-murder, because that's what this regime has done to its own people. They massacred tens of thousands of protesters just in the past few weeks. Think about it this way. If a man you despised showed up to stop the monster who slaughtered your entire family, would you really grab his arm and say, not you? That's what some of you are doing right now. So yes, you can hate Trump's immigration policies. You can despise ICE, fine. but don't make Iran a sides thing. Iranians wanted this. This is our only chance, maybe for generations, to take our country back. So step aside, please.
I know this must suck to hear if you're a fucking lib, but Donald Trump is probably going to go down as one of the top 3 greatest presidents of all time. And you might be like, you're fucking crazy! Okay, let me explain this to you. In modern time, we have been dealing with Iran's bullshit for 40 fucking years, and Democrats and Republicans alike have sat on their hands and done shit. Why have they done shit? Because of political pressure, because of oil, because of lobbyists, because of lawyers, because of corruption. And that is why things take forever, because somebody is always getting paid for some vicious shit. This guy doesn't give a fuck. He's doing what's right for the people. You cannot have this country under threat of a nuclear bomb from a country like Iran with rogue leaders. Hence, Khamenei is dead. Just like you can't have Venezuela, our backdoor neighbor over here, selling shit and putting in, drugs into this country and killing people, and fentanyl coming through China and them selling oil through some black market bullshit. I mean, this fucking guy is stopping all the bullshit. And you could disagree or you can agree. It doesn't matter. But those are the fucking facts. So start understanding it and say thank you to everybody who's voted for Donald Trump. He just made the world a much safer place. Oh, and here's the kicker. In 1 year.
Newsflash, if you've seen the headlines today about America bombing the regime sites in Iran and killing Khamenei, the supreme leader in Iran, and you thought to yourself, oh my god, World War III? Oh my god, America's going to war? Oh my god, Trump thinks he can do that? You're fucking brainwashed. I'm convinced you're brainwashed. A good thing has happened, and you can't even acknowledge that without criticizing Trump. I'm not saying he's the best person on the planet. He did a good thing though, and you're so blinded by your hate for this man, for America, for Israel. You're so blinded by those 3 things that you can't see a good thing when it happens. We're happy, and if you're not, you're brainwashed. I'm convinced.
When the hell are the liberals gonna stop? You're sitting here protesting the strikes on Iran, while when Iranians are celebrating in the streets.
Facts.
They just want to be free. And y'all did the same thing with Venezuela. And what did the Venezuelan people do? They celebrated. Listen, here in America, we are very privileged. Over there, we can't understand what the hell is going on over there. But for my eyes, when I see people celebrating, it brings tears to my eyes, because I couldn't even put myself in their shoes to understand what they're going through. Also, liberals, why the hell weren't y'all protesting when the regime was straight up just killing people in the streets?
If you're wondering why some Iranians are celebrating the death of a senior leader, let's listen to this.
Iranians are not Arab Islamists. They're Iranians. They've always been Iranians. They have occupied by a regime that is not their own, by a regime that is not speaking their language. The Islamist Ayatollahs came to our country, and the first thing that they did, they took our flag and they started to write on it with Arabic writing, which is not Persian. It's not our language on there. They took out our symbol of the lion and the sun and replaced it with an Allahu Akbar Islamic symbol in the middle. Just imagine Islam is taking over Washington, taking the American flag, taking our flag, keeping the colors in there and putting an Islamist symbol on it and an Arabic writing on it. Would you think that's our flag? Would you think, oh, this is the government of America now? You would be like, this is an Arab Islamist jihadist occupation. They took down our flag. Then they started to replace everything that's Iranian, our ministries, our churches, our synagogues, our Jewish community. We had the biggest Jewish community inside of the Middle East, outside of Israel. They wiped them out. They wiped out our Christians, our Zoroastrians. They forced people to convert to Islam. They changed our language in our schools. They started teaching Arabic. Our national anthem They replaced the national anthem with some weird anthem that no Iranian can even identify with, because every other word of it is Islamic.
This isn't about hatred. It's about decades of oppression under a regime many Iranians never chose. Don't confuse a government with its people. And don't forget, there are believers in Iran risking everything for Jesus right now. Pray for the Iranian people. Pray for freedom. And pray for the underground church. Jesus is Lord over Iran. If you are praying for Iran, put the prayer hands emoji in the comments.
Ali Khamenei became Iran's supreme leader in 1989, making him the most powerful political and religious authority in the country. Under Iran's political system, the supreme leader has enormous power. He oversees the military, influences the judiciary, and ultimately has the final say on major national decisions. For decades, he played a central role in shaping Iran's domestic and foreign policy. Supporters viewed him as someone who stood up to Western pressure. Critics, however, accused the government of suppressing dissent and cracking down on protests, particularly during major demonstrations in recent years. And that long history of political tension is part of why reactions to his death have been so intense. Reports say the strike happened on 28 February 2026. It was part of a coordinated military operation targeting high-level Iranian leadership. Several sites in Tehran were hit during the attack. At first, information was chaotic. Some reports said Khamenei had been injured. Others said he survived. But shortly afterward, Iranian state media confirmed that the long-time leader had died. For many observers, the news was shocking. Khamenei had ruled for more than 35 years, making him one of the longest-serving leaders in modern geopolitics. His death instantly raised huge questions. Who takes power next? How will Iran respond? And could this escalate into a wider regional conflict? Many Iranians are celebrating in streets and viewing the strike as a rescue mission. So some people did express relief or hope for political change, and many ordinary citizens are simply worried about what happens next. The operation was a strike rather than a war. And of course, this distinction matters. Military strikes are targeted operations designed to eliminate specific strategic threats. War, on the other hand, usually involves sustained military campaigns between countries. However, the danger is that targeted strikes can still trigger escalation. And that's exactly what many analysts are worried about right now. No one knows because the situation could still evolve into something much larger. Millions of Iranians live outside the country after waves of political upheaval dating back to the Iranian Revolution. Many members of the Iranian diaspora have complicated feelings about Iran's government. Some hope for major political reform. Others worry that foreign intervention could make the situation worse. So again, the reactions you see online represent different viewpoints, not a single unified opinion. Of course, many people feel like the strike was necessary because of concerns about Iran's nuclear program. Iran's nuclear activities have been a major point of tension between Iran and Western countries for years. Some governments fear Iran could eventually develop nuclear weapons. Iran, however, has consistently said its nuclear program is for peaceful purposes. This disagreement has been at the center of international negotiations and sanctions for decades. So, The strike is being interpreted through that larger geopolitical context. No matter where people stand politically, one thing is clear. The death of Ali Khamenei marks a historic turning point. For some people, it represents hope for change, while for others, it represents a dangerous escalation. And right now, the world is watching closely to see what happens next, because the consequences of this moment could shape the Middle East for years to come. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Make sure you subscribe to our channel and like the video. Thank you.